Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're exploring how contemporary media, especially social media, shapes culture and human behavior. So, you guys, as Generation X educators, you guys lived through the shift from rotary phones to smartphones, from VHS tapes to TikToks. We've seen firsthand how media has evolved and how it influences our students in ways we couldn't imagine 20 years ago. So this presentation will cover how media affects nutrition, fashion, and youth development. We're going to also talk about the dangers of misinformation and how to teach students to fact check what they see online. So let's get started. So for media role in shaping culture behavior, so some contemporary media doesn't just reflect culture, it creates it. So according to Yiji Shao, digital platforms have shifted cultural productions from centralized institutions to decentralized, user-driven spaces. That means anyone with a smartphone can influence public opinion, start trends, or even shape political discourse. So let's think about viral videos, memes, and hashtags have become part of our everyday language. Okay, boomers, quiet quitting, or girl dinner, these aren't just jokes, they represent cultural shifts. So media is now a mirror and a megaphone. But there is a downside. Algorithm feeds us content that aligns with our existing beliefs, creating echo chambers. This can reinforce biases and limit exposure to diverse perspectives. So for students, this means they may only see one side of an issue, making it harder to develop a critical thinking. So, you guys, as educators, we can help students recognize these patterns. We can ask questions like, why do you think this video showed up on your feed? Or what choices are missing from this conversation? These questions help students become more aware of how media shapes their worldview. Now, social media and nutrition. Let's talk about food. Social media has become a major influence on how people eat, especially teens. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram are filled with content, mukbangs, diet challenges, and what I eat in a day videos. Some of it promotes healthy habits, but a lot of it is glamorized extreme diets or unhealthy choices. Moffitt and Thomas found that adolescents exposed to food content online are more likely to consume sugary drinks and fast food. That's not just a coincidence, it's a behavior modeling. Teens see influencers eating certain foods and think if they're doing it, maybe I should too. And now let's not forget about role of food marketing. Fast food chains and snack brands are now using influencers to promote their products in subtle ways. A popular creator might casually eat a burger in a video, and suddenly that brand is trending. So, as teachers, you guys can help students decode these messages. We can talk about food, how it's being marketed, how to read nutrition labels, and how to find reliable health information. We can encourage our students to reflect on how food content makes them feel. Are they inspired or are they feeling pressured? Fashion is another powerful form of media influence. So Amin Labab describes clothing as a form of social communication. It's how we express who we are and where we fit in. On social media, fashion influencers set trends that ripple through schools, communities, and even global culture. For teens, fashion is deeply tied to identity. They're figuring out who they are and clothing become a tool of self-expression. But when influencers present curated, idealized images, it can create unrealistic standards. The pressure to look perfect, wear the right brands, and follow trends can be overwhelming. This can lead to issues like low self-esteem, body image concerns, and even financial stress. Some students feel they need to buy expensive clothes to fit in, which can create a social divide in the classroom. But fashion can also be a source of empowerment. It allows students to explore their creativity, challenge norms, and find their voice. So you guys as educators, you guys can encourage students to think critically about fashion. Ask them, what does your style say about you? Or do you dress yourself for others? We can also introduce discussions about sustainable fast fashion and ethics of influence cultures. These conversations help students see fashion as more than just appearance, it's about value, identity, and its impact. Children and teens are especially vulnerable to media influence. Their brains are still developing and they're highly sensitive to social feedback. Likes, comments, and shares can feel like validation or rejection. Social media platforms are designed to be addictive. They use notification algorithms and endless scrolling to keep users engaged. For young people, this can lead to excessive screen time, sleep disruption, and reduced attention spans. Moffitt and Thomas also found that social media is linked to poor diet quality and increased risk of eating disorders. But beyond physical health, there's a mental health impact. Studies show rising rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness among teens who spend more time online. Identity formation is another concern. Teens often create online personas that don't match their real selves. They may feel pressure to be funny, attractive, or popular, even if it's not authentic. This can lead to confusion, stress, and a sense of inadequacy. As teachers, you guys can help by fostering open conversation about media use. You guys can create assignments that encourage students to reflect on their online identities, explore their values, and set boundaries. We can also model healthy media habits ourselves, like taking breaks from screens and prioritizing face to face connection. So, the dangers of inaccurate media. Some misinformation is one of the biggest challenges in today's media's landscape. False information spreads quickly, often faster than the truth, because it's designed to provoke strong emotion. So Yi Shao emphasizes that misinformation undermines trust in institutions and deepens social divides. We've seen this play out in real time, from health myths during the pandemic to conspiracy theories about elections. For students, navigating this landscape is tough. They're bombarded with content from influencers, friends, and anonymous sources. They may not know what to tell what's real or what's not. That's why media literacy is so important. It's not just about knowing facts, it's about understanding how information is curated, created, shared, and manipulated. We know we need to teach students to be skeptical, curious, and thoughtful. So, how do we teach fact checking? One effective method is the SIFT framework. 1. Stop. Before reacting or sharing, pause. Ask yourself, do I know where this comes from? 2. Investigate the source. Look into the created content. Are they credible? Are they an expertise? 3. Find better coverage. Search for other sources. Are reputable outlets reporting the same thing? And 4th, trace claims. Follow quotes and statistics to back the original context. Are they accurate? We can also introduce students to tools like Snopes.com, which is great for debunking viral myths. Factcheck.org, it's a nonpartisan fact checking on politics and public claims. And Media Bias Fact Check helps identify bias in news sources. So in the classroom, try activities like comparing headlines from different outlets, analyze viral posts from emotional language or misleading visuals, and create a fact-checking challenge where students research and verify trending claims. These activities build critical thinking and empower students to be responsible digital citizens. So, to wrap up, media is a powerful source. It's shaped how we eat, dress, think, and interact. Social media in particular influences our behavior in subtle and profound ways. For children and teens, these influences can be life-changing, for better or for worse. So as Generation X educators, you guys can bring a unique perspective. You guys have seen the world before smartphones, and you guys understand the value of face-to-face connection, critical thinking, and authenticity. Let's use the wisdom to guide our students through the digital maze. So by fostering media literacy, encouraging reflection, and teaching fact-checking, we can help students become thoughtful, informed, and resilient. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for the work you do every day to shape the next generation. Have a great day.